So if you've been on the internet, on guitar sites, on YouTube, you've seen the MXR Rockman X100, Tom Schultz signature sound. A lot of people are calling it the return to the 80s sound or arena rock sound. Well, that sound was actually made famous in the 70s on the first two Boston albums. So I don't know why they keep saying it. Regardless, it doesn't matter. But if you've seen that pedal, it's on pre-order right now, and you can pick it up for, I think it's a little over $200, somewhere in that ballpark, 230, something like that. And it's a cool pedal. I'm not taking anything away from it. You got 4 different channels, and you got chorus. What more can you ask for of a cool sounding pedal? But if you don't feel like spending $200 on it and you have a Boss Katana, well, I've kind of put together a live set, trying to get as close as I can to each one of those different selections on that pedal, whether it's clean 1, clean 2, edge, or distortion. Now, I did use some other patches to create these. In particular, the edge tone is from my Boston tone I did last year for Rock and Roll Man. It has that nice half-cocked wah, lots of mids sound. And then I took a Hysteria tone that I had, and I kind of played with that a little bit and tweaked that to kind of make the clean sound. It's easy to get clean sounds from the Boss Katana, but sometimes if you're trying to hone in on one particular clean sound, it's not always easy to get it perfect. So both of these are kind of ballpark. And I did this on the Mark II, but if you apply it to the Gen 3, the cleans sound like they got a little bit too much drive. You might have to turn down the level on the 10-band EQ that has it set in there. And I'll show you. This isn't so much a tone tutorial as it is a tone presentation, because I'm going to upload this to the Boss Tone Exchange and a couple Facebook groups. And if anybody wants to hear how it sounds, well, they can come here to this video and check it out. So let's jump into Tone Studio and see what we're working with here. So first we'll start with the cleans. I'll start with clean 1 over here and just kind of let you hear how it sounds. I'm going to put it on the neck pickup. I am playing this through my Guild Polera because it kind of has moderate pickups, not too high. This has that kind of I think this is the one I use the Hysteria tone on, and it's you know, now some of these riffs I'm going to be playing tonight to demonstrate the sound are not going to be 100% correct. So that's a clean sound, and what I basically did with that, I used the acoustic amp, put the gain on about 40, the volume at 76, and I kind of played with the EQ here. Now, down in the boost, I do have a clean boost up there, and I have the direct mix up about 51, and you could probably push that a little higher. You don't hear a huge difference on the direct mix with the clean boost. And on the mod, I've got a Boss compressor, and in the chain, I've got the compressor before the boost, but the FX, which is the chorus, which you can turn on and off if you have a foot switch, before the amp as well. Kind of like putting on that particular MXR X100 pedal, it has the chorus built into the pedal. So you're putting it in front of the amp. Now for FX, like I said, I've got a chorus here. I don't have a delay. And I've got a nice hall reverb, and you could change that. You could probably change that to room. I don't have a solo, but I do have a contour. And I've got it type 4 just because it accentuates the sparkle in that clean tone. Whereas if you just turn it off, it makes it sound a little bit muddy. And if you try to go through the other settings, it just makes it sound a little bit brighter, a little bit more clear. And then over here on the parametric EQ, I have things kind of set moderately low, but I do have the high cut over here at 630, which normally I usually don't go above 5, but I do have it at 630. Kind of bring out those highs a little bit more. And I got the level at 1. That can probably come down. You won't even notice it. And it's amp in. But over here I've got amp out on the graphic equalizer, And I've kind of got the mids and the highs kind of cocked up a little bit here because you don't really have the low mids or the low end in this particular tone. You have more of the mids and the high mids, but you don't want to go too much. We're gonna turn that level down a hair and see what it sounds like. Still sounds like it has a little too much drive in there, and I'm not sure where I'm getting that from. Just might be in the gain over here. And a noise suppressor. I got a slight noise suppressor, but I don't even have it on. You can turn it on if you want, but it's a clean tone. You don't really need a noise suppressor too much on a clean tone. So we've talked about that clean tone. Let's look at this one right here. So clean 2 right there. Clean 2 is a little more EQ'd. Got a slight different sound. Let's try that one more time. So it's a little brighter, a little more janglier, and I just took the acoustic. I bumped up the gain a little bit and put it on variation. I do have a noise suppressor on this one. And in the chain, I've got this one on chain 4-1 where the booster is actually ahead of the mod. And the mod is actually set to a mild compressor and added a little more sustain to it and a little more attack. You could dial back that attack if you wanted. And the effects is a chorus. Right over here, we've got another hall delay, and you can play with the delay, the reverb. You can play with the reverb a little bit, and the EQs are set about the same as the clean one. Over here, I do have the low mids 250 hertz. I do have it cranked up just a little bit more than I did on the other one. So that's clean number 2. Now let's move over to edge and distortion. Now, as I talked about, I made that Boston rock and roll man Tom Schultz sound sometime last year, and I just kind of took that and I tweaked it a little bit just to see if I could get it a little bit better. And this one does sound great on the Gen 3 as well. So if you just use this on the Gen 3, you might have to dial things down just a little bit to your liking. But in the editor, you can see I've got it on clean and I've got a gain here. And in the chain, I've got, again, the compressor, boost, and effects before the amplifier. For a booster, I use the Governor DS because it kind of gives that martially sound to it. With this one, I got the bass turned down a little bit. I got it cut, I should say. I got it cut back a little bit. And I boosted the mids and the treble over here. Mild compressor again, chorus, and for reverb, I do have a delay in here. Just an analog delay. Not too high at all, just very, very modest on the delay time. But over on the reverb, again, I got a hall reverb. Amp out on the parametric EQ here. And I bumped up the lows just a hair on here, not too much. I didn't cut them as drastically as I did on the cleans just because I feel that you do actually need some bottom end for the distortion and edge tone. And of course, I do have a noise compressor on here because it can get a little bit noisy. So let's play just a little bit. Screwed something up in there. But so that's the edge. And lastly, for the distortion, I just tweaked the last one up a little bit more, gave it a little more boost. I don't know, I might have dialed back the direct mix. But again, I've got a mild compressor, chorus, reverb. I put the reverb in a room reverb. And my chain here is mod boost effects before the amp. And over here, you have your parametric EQ. I did bump up some of the gains on that just to give it a little more beef. And over here, again, I dialed back the lows just a hair on the distortion to get it out of the way for the mids and the highs for the lead sound. So, and of course, noise suppressor. So, see if I can't screw this one up. And I did screw it up, but you got the gist of it. Easiest way to get this tone is just to follow the link down in the description. It'll take you to the Boss Tone Exchange. You can download it there because I didn't go fully through everything in here unless you have the speed to pause it while I'm sitting here talking fast. But is it exact? No. Is it ballparkish? Yeah. You can get that Tom Schultz sound from a Boss Katana without having to spend $200, $230 on just one pedal, which is one of the many great things about the Boss Katana. And yeah, enjoy. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more stuff like this, I haven't done one of these in a while. But stick around, hit that subscribe button, maybe hit the notify button, and please, if you like this video, hit that like button. We'll see you next time.